What's something you learned embarrassingly late in life? I learned how to properly use a washing machine embarrassingly late in life. It wasn't that I didn't know the basics, put clothes in, add detergent, and press a button, but I never really understood the specifics of how to get the best results. My parents had always done the laundry when I lived at home, and once I moved into my first apartment, I relied on laundromats or my roommates to handle the chore. When I finally got my own washer and dryer, I assumed I could figure it out easily enough. I had watched my parents do it 1,000 times. For the first few months, I was winging it. I'd throw a load in, add a cap of detergent, and press the normal cycle. The clothes came out clean, but the colors weren't as vibrant as I remembered, and the fabric felt a bit rougher. I assumed it was just because I was using generic detergent, or that it was something to do with the machine. It wasn't until one afternoon when I mentioned to my coworker how my clothes never seemed to come out quite right that I realized I had been doing it all wrong. My coworker, Jane, looked at me with wide eyes. "You don't separate your clothes?" she asked. The way she said it made me feel like I'd just admitted to a crime. She explained that separating colors and whites was essential, but I shrugged it off at first. In my head, it was all just laundry. It wasn't rocket science, but Jane insisted, and as she detailed the importance of separating items by color and fabric type, I felt like I was listening to a foreign language. When she saw the confusion in my eyes, she took me to the laundromat during lunch and showed me how to do it. She sorted clothes into piles: whites, darks, delicates, and towels. She explained how different fabrics needed different settings, and how fabric softener and detergent work best when used correctly. I was amazed by the effort she put into this seemingly mundane task. As I watched her, I realized how little I had actually understood. I started to feel embarrassed. All these years, I had just thrown everything in together, assuming it would all turn out fine. I had never even thought to separate delicate fabrics from heavier materials, or to adjust the water temperature based on the type of fabric. I felt a bit ashamed that it had taken me so long to figure out something so basic. When I got home later that evening, I tried it out, really separated everything like Jane had shown me. I carefully loaded the washer, used the right temperature settings, and even added fabric softener. When the clothes came out, they felt softer, smelled fresher, and looked much better. The whites were brighter, the darks were still rich, and the delicates weren't damaged. It felt like a small victory, though it was honestly a little embarrassing to realize that I hadn't known how to do something so simple for so long. After that, doing laundry became a less daunting task. It didn't feel like just a chore anymore. It was something I understood, and I took pride in doing it right. I couldn't believe it took me this long to learn something that everyone around me seemed to know naturally. It was one of those small life lessons, but one I felt I should have figured out much earlier.